and things of that sort. Just seeing the way that house music like makes people feel, it gets my family up and dancing. It was just something like I just love that. Like I just love to see dancing. I love people being happy, and this music just makes me and everybody surrounded by it feel good. So why not play it? And obviously, I love house music. So.
I was gonna say house music really like gets the vibes going.
Yeah.
Like, even a crowd could be kind of like dead, and you play some Chicago house music. People are like, "What's this?"
Everybody knows it.
Right. So you said family. Is your family kind of like big into house?
Yeah, definitely at our barbecues, parties, whatever. Since we turn on the house music, everybody's on the floor. It's actually funny for my mom's 40th birthday party. I did like a house and juke set, like
Okay.
and it's like my grandma's on the floor dancing. Like it's just
Come on, grandma. Come on, mama. That's it's in your blood. Let's
yes,
go.
Literally.
And so, what are some of kind of like the house? Like, are there any songs that come to mind that remind you of your childhood, or any DJs?
Definitely. So, my dad's friend, who I call him uncle, DJ Bass. He is a DJ. He does house music. He produces house music, right? So it's like just being surrounded by that already, and then like sometimes at my family barbecues, like DJ Funk would be there. Like I just been surrounded by music and house and everything my whole entire life. So that's really
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I feel absolutely kind of similar to that in that my mom would just throw on a house mix, and when I was younger, I didn't know it was house, but now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, my mom listened to a lot of house growing up, and so this show is about bridging kind of like old school with the new school. How do you feel about house in kind of its most current modern state?
Um,
Talk about it.
I don't know. I feel like we just need to get back to our roots essentially.
Okay.
Like, to put it nicely, I feel like certain people have kind of taken over the house scene, which is like it's fine. There's room for everybody, but I just feel like the old school house and like where it really started, like the Chicago, like real, like I just feel like that is kind of getting lost today, and I don't really like the top 40 house music these days. Like I don't even play it. Like I honestly don't want to hear it, but it's just like that's kind of the route that it's going, and I just have to accept it. But house is such a broad spectrum that like no matter what type of house DJ you are, you can always find your lane of the music that you want to play. So I don't have to worry about the top 40 music. Like that's not what I don't have to play that. I could just play what I enjoy in house. So
exactly. And I feel you because I feel very similarly in that it's like house music has absolutely become very mainstream in the sense that like I saw an article that was like David Guetta, the godfather of house, and I was like, that's not accurate. It is kind of frustrating being two house music DJs from Chicago, and just seeing kind of like that history be erased.
Yeah, it's literally being erased. That's the problem. It's like at least still give us our props,
right? The credit, and it's Chicago. There's so many even producers today, like people like Kanye, taking old house music and making it new. And I do love that, but I want people who are listening to be like, that's Chicago house, exactly. Right? Chicago's impact. So what do you think? Because I'm glad you brought this up. What do you feel like we can do as DJs to honor the roots and the history?
I feel like just don't stop playing it. Don't stop making people educated on the topic. Like I remember on Twitter fairly recently, maybe like a month ago, there was a whole talk, just about how like Black women specifically are being erased from the house scene, and it's like we also created it. Like, right. So just making sure people are like aware of the fact that like these are the roots, and it's really just about educating. Honestly, like you can only do so much, and people are gonna take their credit, and it is what it is. But like as long as we all know the truth and we educate everybody on what's real, that's us doing our part, honestly. And just keep playing the music, like I said.
Absolutely. And you said something earlier about kind of like finding your lane as a DJ, and like I was so excited when I like stumbled upon you on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god, this is like a cool like fashionable, awesome, great young DJ doing house music. And so what has it been like kind of finding your lane and paving your way in kind of this house music journey?
It's definitely been kind of difficult, and when you're a DJ, you want to do everything, and I kind of had to take a step back and realize, like, house is what I love. House is what I want to do because I was kind of putting my hand in every jar, and it's like sometimes you have to, like I said, just take a step back and just focus on what you really want to do. So it's like now I've been taking the house thing like a lot more seriously and trying to specifically, get booked if I'm doing house. So just being like stern and stubborn about like what you do, like how you present yourself, because your brand is everything, and it's really important to brand yourself how you want to be branded. And at the end of the day, I want to be a house DJ. So
you are absolutely speaking my language, because I feel that, like, as someone who wants to honor house, I want to play that in every space. And
exactly.
Some places like, oh, can you play like what's popular? It's like, well, then you're kind of, you're not letting me honor and DJ how I want. And so how do you keep firm on those boundaries? What advice would you give for maybe a young DJ out there, a young Black woman DJ out there who is thinking of kind of honoring their house or their, whatever their journey is? How do you keep those boundaries set when you're planning and booking yourself?
Honestly, right now I'm in a kind of weird phase where I'm just kind of getting out of, I used to only do house at first, and then I got into doing like hip hop, reggaeton, like everything. Right. And then like now I'm kind of like forcing myself back into the house. So honestly, what you really have to do is just be realistic about what you want to do. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you have to be an all around open format DJ. Like, it's not true. It's really not true. Like I said, there's a lane for everybody in DJing. So if you really want to do house, if people present you other gigs, literally just don't take it. just take the house gigs. Absolutely. Like, just be. I know it's like you're missing out on money or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're gonna feel ultimately fulfilled when you're doing what you actually want to do. So that's what I mean.
That's Ryan, the person who's in the studio with us, always tells me, like, the goal of the DJ is to have fun. Like, to really just go up there and whatever fun means to you. And if fun is house music to you, that's why we're doing things like this, playing house on the radio. And so, I want to hear about, like, some of your gigs you've been doing recently or even when you first started. Like, what's an event that you were like, wow, this is fire. This is why I do this.
Oh, my God. My first gig, which was like insane, was the My House Music Festival.
That was your first gig?
Yes.
Whoa, Shorty, you started
terrifying.
At a festival.
I know. Like, I started at a festival. Like, that was my
festival.
It was so scary, but like I made it, and like when I did that, I was like, I can do anything. Although I was like on the community stage, like I wasn't like like on the main stage or anything.
Was that 2019, like right before?
I think it was 2019 or 2018. Yeah. No, I think it was 2019. But yes, like that's literally how I started. Wow. So it's like that's already. It just put in my mind like I can really do anything, and like people that have been DJing for 10 years don't even get those opportunities, So it's like for me to have gotten the opportunity, it just showed me like I'm really like I'm meant for this. And then through there, I met somebody, and then I got booked for a Lala pre-show. That was like my second event, and it's like
come on, festival babe, festival Monday, let's go.
So yeah, that just kind of. It just instilled in my mind, like, I'm made for this. This is what I'm meant to be doing. Because I wouldn't have got those opportunities if otherwise.
If you weren't qualified.
Exactly.
You feel me? I feel that. And so, who are some DJs, either old, past, or even producers that you feel like are really doing house or really making a name or honoring house? Who are some DJs and producers that come to mind?
Yeah, so I really just want to talk about my friends.
Please, that's why we're here.
Because I feel like there's my friend, his name is Lex, and he produces, he also, he DJs house music, and he's just really keeping it alive. Like, he's been doing house, I don't know how long he's on, like 10, I want to say 10 plus years. Wow. So it's just like, he's been doing it for a while, and he also kind of like took me under his wing and helped me like start DJing. He helped me, I didn't even know to turn the mids, like I didn't even know any of this, so like he helped me with that, and it's like he's keeping it alive and well. He does something at Cerise, I think every other Thursday. So it's just something in Chicago, because honestly in Chicago there's not many places you can go to that you can just listen to house music. Like there's not a lot of house music clubs here in Chicago, which is strange, but so he's like keeping that going. And then my friend Gio, he's been helping me a lot too. He also produces. He throws a lot of events. he throws a lot of different types of events, but he really does house. He really does house, and I think they're keeping it alive and well in the city. So.
No. Well, what do you have coming up? What are some things you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm kind of taking a little tiny break.
Okay.
I think I've been in New York for a while. I think I'm gonna go back to New York.
Nice.
Right now, I'm really focused on networking. That's like my huge thing because it's like I can make this great music, but I need the right people around me to hear it. So I'm really focused on like networking and just like getting known outside of the city. And I would say Chicago, New York, and like Detroit are probably the like biggest places for house.
Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to like make my mark in New York so that I could start doing house there.
Yeah, let's manifest it.
I know.
Playing house in New York. That's my dream to go to London and do some house in London and build that connection. Well, speaking of networking, how can we follow and support you?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. They're both the same. It's Monday with 5 eyes.
Monday with like 5 days of the week. Monday with 5 eyes.
I didn't even think of that.
Period. I got you. I got you. Monday. So @_MONDAI. That's 5 eyes. And what about SoundCloud? Where can we hear you?
Yeah, SoundCloud. It's also Monday as well. I think it's only one. No, it's 5 eyes too. Everything's 5 eyes.
There you go. Keep it uniform. That's smart.
But if you do find me on any social media, I have my Linktree link there, so you can find all of my other socials from the first one that you find.
Amazing. Monday, I am so excited to hear this mix. I know you're gonna, turn us up one time.
I'm freestyling it, so
that's how you do it. That's a really great way to just kind of like get to know your library. Like,
exactly.
Let's just follow the vibes.
Exactly.
So, all right, y'all. Well, we got Monday coming up. Be sure to follow, support, and tune in to our girl. Let us know what you're thinking. Once again, I'm DJ Mo Mami, and I'm going to hand it off to Monday.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Take it from the fancy girl. Ooh. I think I am. Shit. Ooh, you pretty young thing. Ooh. Only bad chicks riding my whip. Ooh, damn, girl. I saw they looking at me. Shit. No. Ooh. You don't have to be shy. Shit. Fancy girl. You know, maybe we should have a one-night stand. And you can bring all your friends if you want to. You know, listen. Listen, girl. people wanna walk, but they just talking. A lot of people wanna walk, but they just talking. A lot of people wanna walk, but they just talking. A lot of people wanna walk, but they just talking.
Everybody wants to get down like that. Everybody, what's going down? Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody, what's going down? Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Ah, yes, ain't that fresh? Now everybody wants to get down like that. Hey, you, what's that sound? Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Hey, hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Ah, yes, ain't that fresh? Now everybody wants to get down like that. the winter. It's the hours in the winter. It's the hours in the winter. Tricking all on the down. Tony always says, hey, it's the hours in the winter. It's the hours in the winter. It's the hours. It's the hours in the winter. I got New York City. It's the hours in the winter. Tricking all on the down. Tony always says, hey, it's the hours in the winter. It's the hours in the winter. It's the hours in the winter. I got New York City. It's the hours in the winter. Tricking all on the down. Tony always says, hey, it's the hours.
So let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a ride. Back to the start. Back to the start. Back to the start. Stop.